Lightning, throw thunder in jail. That's bad. Only last week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick.
What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. What a fight. I really mean a fight. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better fight. I think it's one of the fights of the year. Goosebumps, chill bumps coming. Let's do the breakdown, man. First round, Conor Benn looked quicker. He didn't jab, so therefore he got jabbed. Chris Eubank Jr. came out jabbing. Okay, he came out jabbing. He came out calmer. It was comparable to his demeanor. He came out calmer. He worked the jab. Conor worked angles, but was unsuccessful because you can tell, he came in with an intention to throw bombs, and he threw bombs. Unfortunately, he didn't land bombs. So we've seen a lot of that. Now, when he calmed down and threw straight rights, he did land a right in the first round. And I think Chris won the first round. The second round, Conor started using his speed and footwork. And Conor, has good head movement. It's just he didn't jab, okay, at first. And when he did jab, it was a combination intention. It was a combination setup. He was only throwing a jab followed with a combination. A lot of holding. Backtrack. The first round I did notice Conor Benn. He did throw some vicious rabbit punches. I mean, some Pritchard Cologne type punches. The ref didn't say anything that made me wonder. But anyway, third round. Conor Benn caught Chris Eubank Jr. with a solid left hook. Chris caught him with one. It was actually a trade. But Conor's got the best of Chris's, and Chris was definitely affected. He was rocked. He was hurt. But Conor couldn't really finish because Chris did lock him up. Conor, I think, tried to throw bigger punches to knock out Chris Eubank. Round 4, more of the same. Chris Eubank, started jabbing more. Conor was throwing combinations. One thing Conor was not doing was going to the body, which he's known for. And, I think that was an issue. I think he was too busy trying to headhunt. Rounds 5. Conor gives Chris a stiff arm so far that he almost flips over the ropes. Crazy shit. Round 6. They both end up falling, and Conor pushes Chris off of him, and they roll around. I mean, it was a spectacle to see. And then round 7, Chris started getting rhythm. Bow, 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 putting these punches together. And at that point, the momentum started swinging in favor of Chris. Even though Conor was fighting back, Conor would never allow Chris to get that much or the better of him, but Chris was simply outworking him because Chris started throwing uppercuts on the inside. But one thing I noticed about both fighters, after round 8, they were both fatigued. They were both gassed. They were fighting off fumes, heart, legacy, and all that other stuff because it surely wasn't damn stamina, okay? They were definitely in that fight, and they were fighting with everything else other than that. So it was clearly spiritual after that. That's the only way I can explain it, because they were fighting as though a country was behind them. or it was namesake, definitely. You know, they were fighting for more than just money. You can tell. Conor, though, comes back, I think, round 9, catches Chris Eubank with a right hand that makes Chris cross his arms. And I'm thinking, well, Conor still has it. And Conor started doing something that I was screaming at him to do, was go to the body. And he started doing that. Unfortunately, by the time he started, hey, I do throw good punches to the body, Chris was already using his bigger size, leaning on Conor, getting against the ropes, throwing punches on the inside. And keep in mind, a lot of these punches weren't flush, but some of them were. They were some oohs and there were some ahs. Okay? Conor was also throwing punches as well. And it went back and forth. Dogfight. War. Okay? Chris gets cut. Headbutts. Elbows. Nudges. Clinches. Takedowns. This shit was half UFC. Rounds 10, 11, and 12 were absolute classic rounds. The 12th round was different from the 10th and 11th based on the fact that Chris Eubank hurt Conor. Now, and I think this was like the first time Conor was actually stunned, like he was kind of out on his feet. But again, spiritual, everything. He wasn't going down. You're going to either knock him out or something. Even the ref was kind of, trying to see what was going on, what was taking place. And I think that won the fight for Chris, to me. I think I got it 7-5 for Chris Eubank Jr. I predicted Conor Benn to win because I didn't think Chris would have this type of stamina or whatever in him. But again, they were fighting with much more than that, if that's possible. But it is, because we saw it, we witnessed it, and I appreciate everybody that showed up and showed out. Boxing won today. Conor hurt 8 rounds to 4, 116 to 112. Conor was devastated, and I really think about Conor. I felt bad for Conor because it's like, dude, I'm the reason why my family is continuing to get or to take L's from these fucking guys over here. I'm glad for Chris Eubank Sr. being there present. And at one point, I think it was round 8, that Chris Sr. came to Chris Eubank and told him something. I don't know what was said. I'll do a video on it when I find out. But it just showed him like, hey, I'm here. Nigel was proud of his son. Senior was proud of Conor Benn. Okay? Eubank Senior. He congratulated Conor. Like, look, you are a tough kid. You fought dynamic. All the puzzles. The only thing this fight missed was a dramatic knockdown. And I think this was better because Conor went up 2 weight classes to fight a guy that's much bigger than him, has more experience than him, has the opposing opposite name to him, and didn't go down, didn't get knocked out. In fact, a lot of people think he won. I'm going to make a poll and ask you guys yourself, who do you think won this fight? Showbiz, my brother, sorry about that $3,000. That's why I don't gamble no more. We had that conversation. But other than that, the fight was absolutely lit. It is without a doubt the fight of the year right now. Would I like to see it again? Yeah. But do I question the health of the fighters? Yeah, I do. Because, fights like that take shit out of people. It takes time off your lives. It does. Because the way they fought, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I don't think a rematch would be any different. You know what I mean? Some of the same stuff we saw. Great fight. I enjoyed it. I had it 7-5 for Chris Eubank Jr. But again, taking nothing away from Conor Benn. That's my breakdown and recap of the fight. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.